Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So this is for premium and pro members only. Pro members, you can come into these ratings, these early ratings, and have a look yourself. Premium members, you'll have to make do with just seeing them in the video. Or you can upgrade to a pro account and you will also be able to access them. Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays ratings are all available. We will update Fridays tomorrow as well. No, we won't. We will update Sundays tomorrow with the Irish racing as well. But what I want to have a look at is some of the races for the weekend, who I like, and also demonstrate how you as punters, but also the trainers and owners that do watch this, and the jockey agents that are signed up to Rating the Races, as to how you can also use these early ratings to your advantage. And we'll start off looking at a horse in the 12:40 at Haydock on the Saturday, Real Stone. You can see that he's come out top rated on our ratings. For Dan Skelton, Harry's likely to ride, hopefully will ride. He's come out top rated, which is, great for connections of Real Stone. Real Stone is also in the Jim Barry Hurst Park Handicap Chase at Ascot, also on the same day. And you can see he's come out bottom rated. So there is absolutely no reason for Dan Skelton to run Real Stone here. And Dan isn't one of our subscribers, but if he was, he could be showing this to the owners. Look, we don't have a chance in the Jim Barry. We have a great chance here. I know it's worth 65 grand, and that's only worth 13 grand, but I'd rather win 13 grand than finish 10th and pick up no prize money whatsoever. So there's going to be a few examples of these, of different trainers' horses throughout this video. But that was a real standout one that I thought was, he's so far different on the ratings, it's crazy. Moving on to the 3:15 at Ascot. Now this is one that I actually do want to have a bet in myself though, because I think there is a horse that will take all. I think he's going to go really close. And that horse, I'm just going to load something else up on my screen, just so I can get a few extra figures. That horse is Fred Arm. I'm a big fan of Fred Arm. I think when he won a couple of races last season, he looked very, very progressive. It didn't quite go to plan next time. I think that was back at Ascot, I think. I'm just going to have a quick look. Oh, I can look on here, can't I? Of course I can. Fred Arm, it was at Ascot. I thought he was a little bit unlucky. He then went to Ayr. It didn't work. And then recently he's come back with his return at Ascot in the 100 grand race, as Dan was talking about earlier today. So he actually travelled really well for a long, long way, and was probably turning in, coming into the second last, going just as well as anything, and probably better than the winner. I think he was going better than Boot Hill, who ended up winning the race, and he clearly just lacked that run. Whereas maybe Boot Hill was a little bit fitter at the time. Fred Arm needed the run. Off the back of that, Fred Arm is now rated 133, having raced off 135, and Boot Hill is now rated 155, having raced off 149. So there's £6, £8. There's an £8 difference straight off. Plus, Fred Arm now has fitness on his side. I think Fred Arm will reverse that form, and I think Fred Arm is the one to beat in this race, not Boot Hill. Saint Segal and Corrigan Rock, they're good horses, but I don't think they're quite as well handicapped as Fred Arm. And with that run under his belt, I think Fred Arm at 9-2 is going to run a really big race here. The way that Dan was talking about it earlier today suggests that he's definitely running. So if we do lose, say, Saint Segal or Boot Hill, they don't want to run 12 stone. Off 12 stone, or Corrigan Rock, Lucinda Russell has too many runners elsewhere and she doesn't want to run anything at Ascot. Obviously the 9-2 probably isn't going to be 9-2 about him anyway, but he's very, very likely to run, and I think he's the one to beat anyway. Moving on to the 12:55 at Ascot, or kind of moving back, we're just going through. One race will lead to another, which is why I'm highlighting him in this order. There's a couple of horses here that are interesting. The first one is Apple Away, who is in a 2-mile-7 handicap chase and has come out top rated. Is in a Mare's Novice Chase and has come out top rated over 2 mile 3. Is in a Graduation Chase, has come out top rated. This is at Haydock over 2 mile 5, and is also in Uttoxeter over 3 miles on the Sunday in a novice handicap chase. Now, just looking at these ratings, do you need to be winning anything on your first start back? Do you need to be winning anything big? Does Lucinda Russell need to be targeting a big pot with a potential future Cheltenham Festival horse? Not in my book. So where would you go? I would be aiming for the race where they're furthest clear on the ratings. So they've got a 6-point gap here at Ascot. They've got a 30-point gap here at Huntingdon. A 3-point gap here at Haydock. And a 14-point gap here at Uttoxeter. So for me, I'd be running here in this Mare's Chase over 2 mile 3. But that also kind of might make me think, where is the horse going to end up in the future? So the fact that, you know, she's given the horse entries over 2 mile 3 up to 3 mile kind of suggests they're not sure at the moment. But if we actually move into Cheltenham Festival races, we can see that Apple Away is 20s for the Mare's Chase, or this race isn't loading on odds checker. You can't click that, it won't take you to the link. Or 25 to 1 here for the Brown Advisory. I know Iroko's out, so that though, you know, he's not a danger anymore. I just wonder whether they might end up in the Mare's Chase. Actually, they might end up in the Mare's Chase, and this will push them towards the Mare's Chase. You know, if she runs here, I think she wins really comfortably, and so comfortably that they go, wow, we might as well take on other mares this year. And she's only 6. There's no need to rush her, and there's no need to be targeting, you know, difficult races against potentially Samarive or Chianti Classico, Gaillard de Menil, Grey Dawning. No need. Autonomous Cloud, but Autonomous Cloud is another one I want to talk about in a minute. I hope they run Apple Away in the Mare's Novice Chase. With Apple Away running in the Mare's Novice Chase, you could say what I'm going to say next is then a load of rubbish. However, this is also where other trainers they don't know what other trainers are going to do all of the time. Yes, they do have conversations and they can find it out sometimes. But there's another horse that's in multiple races here. Autonomous Cloud is 4th rated on this one at Ascot. Is 2nd at Uttoxeter on the Sunday. And it's also top in a hurdle on the Sunday. Now, I know they may want to go over fences in the future, but is there any need to? Is there any need to come back to fences straight away, is what I mean. So last season was running over fences and was running quite well. But the fact that it's his first time back for 253 days, why don't they run him in a race that actually they might win back over hurdles and then come back to fences after that? He's come out top rated here. He's not come out top rated here, and if Apple Away runs, he will, you know, be very hard to beat. And similarly, if Apple Away runs here, she would be very hard to beat again, and they could bump into a couple here. So for me, I would be running Autonomous Cloud at Uttoxeter. Get him the win back over hurdles, and then go back over fences after you've had that fitness run. Moving on to another horse that has a similar thing. Who have I got here? I haven't actually got this one, so let's move on to the next one. Shishkin. So there's been a lot of talk about Shishkin. Nicky Henderson has strongly suggested he'll be running here at Ascot instead of where is it? Got the wrong one here. Instead of here. Shishkin is clear of Pictory, will beat the rest, or could take on Brave Man's Game and probably not beat Brave Man's Game. I mean, that's the right decision. Go and win 40 grand instead of 112, but win 40 grand and have a long season rather than ending up in a fight at this time of their seasonal campaign. Potentially, you know, bottoming each other out. There's no point. So Brave Man's Game, I think, will win the Betfair Chase, and Shishkin will win the 1965 Chase at Ascot. And let's have a quick look at what prices they are. I think they're both short, aren't they? They're both odds on now. Whoops. That's not quite how I wanted to open it, but never mind. Shishkin 4-5. Brave Man's Game 11-8. So Brave Man's Game is 11-8 based on, is it going to run? If it runs, it wins. I'd be very disappointed if it got beat by Protectorat. And Shishkin here, I think this is the right sort of price, 4-6 to be honest. Pick Dory is nowhere near the level of Shishkin. So yeah, I think they're making the right decisions by running him in those two races. And interestingly, one more thing I wanted to look at. Shishkin, nope. Brave Man's Game. Let's have a look at Daryl's record at the track. Looks pretty good to me. An AE of 1.5 on the win side and 1.09 on the place side. They've picked a good jockey here. So that's why they've gone for Daryl Jacob and not some of their other jockeys that they do currently have attached to their stable. Moving on, we've got a few here. So we've got Blue... I think I've got the race twice there. I have. Here we go. So, Blue Kin Duru and Crambo both have a couple of entries here in the Coral Hurdle. Blue Kin Duru also has an entry at Ascot on the Friday. Nemean Lion is not likely to run because he ran only a few days ago. Gin Coco might. They did take it out because of the ground and it might be getting a bit softer. Paso is good, but is he as good as the progressive Blue Kin Duru? Well, Paul Nicholls will know that, whether he is or not. If he isn't, I'd be running Blue King Duru here and not here. There's 5 points there. There is potentially 4 points, but it's against a stablemate that he will know. You know, the trainer will really know the difference between them. So I would take in the slightly easier race, the handicap. Again, he's only a 4-year-old. He's still improving. There's no need to go right up yet into Grade 2 company just yet. Give him another win in a handicap and then slowly work through, especially as a 4-year-old. If he was 7 or 8, then maybe I could understand why they want to target these graded races now. They don't need to, in my opinion. So with that also in mind, I think I've got another one here. We've got Crambo. So Crambo is in this Betfair Serial Winners Stayers Handicap Hurdle. And he's also in this one here. Now, if Blue King Duru ran in the Friday race, then this would open it up a bit more for Crambo. But even then, Crambo's only just clear of So Royale, Theatre Glory, Mai Tai, who might run because he didn't have much of a run over fences. And as I said, other trainers can't be guessing what other trainers are going to do. They should be using the ratings to work out what they want to do with their horse and give their horse the best possible chance. And then whatever else happens with regards to other horses just should be a positive. So Crambo's RTR2 here, closely knit with a few of the others for 56 grand, or go and try and win 71 grand where you're miles clear at the top. I think that's a no-brainer for me. You've got to go to Haydock with Crambo. And he is accordingly priced. Let's just have a look. Betfair Exchange Hurdle. He is 3-1. Do you know what? I actually think that's about right for him. I mean, how far clear we have him on the ratings? You'd be essentially taking on a potential horse with Lord Snooty, who we don't know much about really. Slate Lane, who again could be another one of these Paul Byrne horses. You know, they have all the favourites coming to all these big handicaps. Some of them win, some of them don't. I'm hoping that this is one that doesn't, and I'm hoping Fergal O'Brien and Crambo can win here. I won't be having a bet just yet in this race. I did like Bold Endeavour, but the ground's gone against him, and I don't think he'll actually run. So we will wait to see. I'd love Lord Snooty and say Emitom and Dubrovnik Harry to be well backed here, just so we could maybe get a little bit of a big price about Crambo after declarations. But I do expect him to run. I know Fergal has actually made a tweet today saying it's likely that he'll head there, but nothing is set in stone yet. Keep going. Okay, so we've got the Devonshire Novices Limited Handicap Chase, where we've got Dubrovnik Harry, who could also run here over fences. Tritonic, what is he doing? There's a race for him at Ascot over 2 mile. They're looking at fences, 2 mile 3. So there's an interesting one in the fact that Pembroke could run in this. Now he's got a walkover tomorrow, so he's just going out for a walk. He doesn't even have. I don't even think they've got to jump a fence with him because his only rival is out. This is 2.5. It is a handicap for 0 to 135. This is what I actually think he could win. I mean, Dan Scouten would be thoroughly disappointed if he couldn't win this off a handicap of 0 to 135, because he thinks he's a Grade 1 horse. I don't. I think he's a good handicapper, over 2.5 mile. This would be close enough. He would be the one I'd be interested in, but we'll wait to see who is entered there. And the final one I want to talk about, I think, let me just have a quick check. Stone of Destiny, Stone of Destiny, Stone of Destiny, Stone of Destiny. Yeah, I've talked about Autonomous Cloud at Utoxetel, which is where I think he should run. Final horse, I mean, even old horses it can work for using the ratings. So Stone of Destiny is top rated at Lingfield. He's RTR 7 at Southall. And he's RTR 5 at Lingfield. And he's RTR 7 at... Where have I gone? Stone of Destiny is top rated here. RTR 7 here. And RTR 5 here. He's got to go to here, isn't he? The 6th furlong at Lingfield. I mean, he's an 8-year-old. Hasn't won in absolute donkey's years. But even like Mick Appleby could be using the ratings to see that Stone of Destiny should be running at Lingfield over 6, not over 5, and not at Southall. So yeah, there's just a few thoughts. I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of bets there. Well, how many were there? Was there one? Freya Darm is one that I'm very, very keen on at 9 to 2. But there's also some thoughts about Crambo, which obviously you'll know the entries before I can start doing another video. So Crambo is interesting. Hope it goes to Haydock. Shishkin, I think, wins. Brave Man's Game, I think, wins. Oh, we want to see Bluekin Daru as well, where he goes. If he goes to Ascot, very, very confident. If he goes to the Coral Hurdle, which he's in as well. Let's have a look at the prices for that one, actually. Coral Hurdle, Blue King Daru. Here he is. Not favourite. Go and win another handicap with him first. If he turns up in the other handicap, I think he would take all of the beating, to be honest. More so than if he turned up in the Coral Hurdle. That Coral Hurdle could end up being a bit messy in the fact that you could lose Blue King Daru, you could lose Crambo as well. So Royale could be favourite. The 11-year-old. Where is he in the betting? So Royale. They think Goshen, but I mean, it'd be some gamble to be back in Goshen, to be honest. So anyway, yeah, Blue King Daru is one I'm keeping an eye out for. Crambo for the Haydock race. Pembroke if he ends up at Exeter. And Stone of Destiny at Lingfield. So there's just a few thoughts. How trainers should be using the ratings. One bet for our members. And how you can also keep ahead of the markets using our ratings if you're a pro member.